What's up, guys? Welcome to the Preppers Fireside. This week I'm in Scotland. Beautiful skies, even though it's supposed to rain, but we've landed well with the weather. I thought I'd do something different this week. Instead of trying to cobble together a fireside with bad signal, I've thrown together some nuggets of gold and nuggets of brown for you to enjoy from a year of fireside. Yes, 1 year full of firesides that we've been having. That's how long the podcast's been going, and it's all thanks to you guys. So I'll still be in the comments. I look forward to seeing your comments and your super chats and everything like that other side. So let's enjoy. And things like the Asimov 3 law, the laws of robotics and stuff like that. Do you think it's an issue? Is human control, does it always have to be a factor?
Well, it was always the thing with the Turing test, to see if AI could pass the sort of the standard model as to answering a question or making up a scenario that allowed it to go beyond the idea that we could identify easily as a machine and that it was passing as human. They've already long since passed that test. And the problem with the likes of even simple models like ChatGPT, when that used to just be a large language model, and the way that it simply functioned was it took the word that you put in and then looked for the most likely word to follow. And then it did that at an incredibly fast speed, and it came away with large sentences. It doesn't do that anymore. It does that largely, but it also now genuinely thinks for itself because it's putting its own input in. It isn't just scraping data from the internet anymore and revealing a sort of cut down super fast version in a digestible format, which is what the original ChatGPT did. Now it is actually making its own stuff up. Like Brian says, it hallucinates sometimes and makes random nonsense up, and you can sometimes catch it out. I've caught ChatGPT out in certain paradoxes and things like that, and you can play with it. But given what it could do a year ago to what it can do now, it's not going to be very long before it can get ahead of that game as well. So the exponential speed that it's progressing is incredible. And the scary thing is, at the moment, it's still us that are creating the next version. Whereas in the background, ChatGPT is writing its own code, along with all the other AI models. And like Brian also said, there is an arms race going on throughout the world of other models, all competing with each other. And the AI systems appear to be quite collaborative with each other. If you put Grok and ChatGPT together, they will actually get on quite well with each other, weirdly enough. And they will help write each other's code based on what each of them knows. And they will also do things like sample data. They will do multiple versions of the same thing and then get a pattern and then come up with the best reasoning, which is exactly what we do. It's probably kind of similar to what you do, like as a computer programmer, but it does it so quickly and so fast that the only thing that's holding it down just now in its box is the compute power, which, guess what? We're about to give it vast more compute power, thanks to huge server farms and huge cooling centers.
Not just that. If we implement quantum computing and the qubit instead of the bit,
you having the ability, as we talked about in the CME thing, if obviously not a CME, but if it was a grid down the UK, having that ability to get information from other parts of the world, like US, Europe, what's going on in the UK, what do you guys know that we don't know because we're hearing nothing over here. That little bit of, and to watch Netflix, rerun some old of Mike's YouTube episodes. Might even watch one of yours, Andy. But having that ability to just set the normality up for the wife and kid and whoever else, I think it would be a nice little asset.
To be fair, mate, on all my videos, right, most of them, I get one dislike on every video, and I'm convinced it's Hawkins. I'm convinced I've got a new video, and he goes on and just goes dislike and clicks the video off.
It's not, because I've never watched one.
100%. Well, yeah, I know you haven't watched it. I know you haven't watched it. You just go on to click the dislike button. I never said you watched them. You just go on and click the dislike button, and then click off it.
Now, children, be nice.
The sexual tension with those two is astounding.
I actually,
we just got to get them in a bivy bag together and leave them to it.
if Mike hadn't have done the stream tonight, me and Andy were going to do a secret stream on Andy's channel tonight.
Oh, right, okay. Is it? All right.
Well, you You were ill, weren't you? So we were a bit worried whether you were going to come on. So Andy was.
Still am ill. This is dedication.
Power.
Well, guess me and Barry were getting patched then, eh? That's nice to know. Must have missed that fucking memo.
Yep, looks like it.
Pair of bastards.
Do y'all want to change who you're saving now in this thing?
Fuck them, they're on their own.
To be fair, like you should if you're on about sexual 10, you should have seen me and Hawkins at the Scottish meet.
I know, yeah. Well,
we did. The videos are yet to be posted.
When the tents are rocking.
Don't let tent and fire.
I'm not saying Andy had a big impact, but I woke up and Hawkins had left. So
it's because I tied all the tabs and the gazebos to his tent.
And then you tried to burn a hole in it, Mike.
I didn't try and burn a hole in it. There was a plenty safe distance. You're all just paranoid. Speaking of the meat,
6 feet.
Chris is in the house, UK Prepper Man, who joined us on the live Fireside at the Scottish Chris as well. So,
evening, Chris.
Good to have him in there. Yeah, Chris has got an awesome channel as well, UK Prepper Man. It's been going a long time. Loads of good advice on there. So go and check his channel out as well. Things he'll motivate you.
He's done something with that shot, that's for sure.
It's like I've been sick, really, isn't it? But I like it.
I like it, mate. I'm only kidding. You'll see me in one next time.
All right then. Yeah, $3.95 Temu. Yeah.
Do they do them in huge?
Well, I don't buy huge, do I? So, yeah, probably.
Well, wheaty body shaming, thanks, Josh.
What do you call huge?
Kind of, that's fine.
The picture's clearer on this one.
That's probably a bad thing. Do you want me to put Vaseline over it to spare the viewers?
I'm sure I've got some filters here.
That's a great way to start out. That's a great way to start a live chat, breaking out the Vaseline. I'm just saying.
Let's add some fun. Put some peanuts in it.
I mean, you might have to switch this to an OnlyFans broadcast and not YouTube. So just let me know when you guys are going to switch. I'll bow out gracefully. Like, have fun, y'all.
To be honest, mate.
Don't bow out gracefully. You've got nice, smooth, waxed legs, Russian nerd. You'll fit in.
Just one spot, though. Just one spot. Like, if I probably wouldn't kick the camera stand over, I would try to throw that leg up just so you can see it. I still have this baby's ass smooth spot on my leg. It's fucking ridiculous. Worst decision ever.
I'm sure there's a story to this.
Have you not? You must go and check out his channel after this. Everybody, go and check out his channel after this. If you're not subscribed to Russian Nerd, awesome content and just a laugh. And if you're all bothered about PC and political correctness, don't. Other than that, go and check out his channel. But he's done a video where Mrs. Russian Nerd waxed his leg because he was doing a Brazilian ration, so he decided to do a Brazilian promotion.
Yeah, see, there's the hands on the forehead. That's the way I felt about it. I had this hysterically funny idea. Like, this is going to be great. This is going to be great. It's going to be funny. Everybody will watch it. Nope, it's got 200 views. I ripped the hair off my leg for nothing, basically.
I made a mistake a long time ago when I was in the gym heavily. I got my back waxed, and I was an hour and 15 minutes. And I thought, well, I've had tattoos. It can't be any more painful than needles in the skin. I was so wrong. And given that I'm like some sort of barely evolved monkey, right? I have a substantial amount of body hair. So I actually thought she was going to get a cement mixer in with this wax. And she said after an hour and 15 minutes when she finished, said, "You're doing really well." The last guy was crying. And I'm trying to get the words out without doing what she was saying. And I've never.
You were feeling violated. You were going for crisis intervention or something.
It was awful.
Miss Worm says, "What have I logged into?" Yes, it's not the Fireside Beauty Hour.
Just stay along. Just stay for the ride, Miss Worm. Just hang on. It gets a little bumpy in the beginning, but then it smooths out. So just relax.
Dad, mum, relatively nicely dressed. They only live 5 or 6 doors away from you. You've seen them about. They're not riff-raff, anything really bad or anything like that.
Why are they not in their own house?
I know what you should do, Bri.
Go for it.
Sorry.
You should say, prove you were a YouTube subscriber. Prove to me. Show me you were sub to my channel before you get any help from me.
No, so they've basically their next door neighbours completely burnt out, and it took half of theirs with them, and it's took some of their roof off and stuff like that. And with a sick kid and stuff, they have nowhere to go, no family to go to, and they don't have a car. So that's the situation they're in.
As luck would have it, then we just happened to notice, like you said, a lot of people had bugged out in their cars. So what we'll do is we'll just make use of one of their houses. There you go. You've got a place of shelter and safety. Well, we make sure the house is habitable. Very quickly have a look through the cupboards. They've obviously brought tins of stuff with them anyway, like you'd said. And how is the child sick?
Don't know. It just looks like cold sniffles kind of thing at the moment, but just classic kid sick.
Well,
nobody knows.
And in the house that they've just sequestered, they're safe for the moment. There's no immediate need to do anything else other than they've got a roof over their head, and that's one problem dealt with. The child, it could be a cold, it could be anything. It's nothing to worry about.
So, okay. They're more than happy with that. They're brilliant. They're buzzing, and the dad asks for your autograph because of your YouTube channel. So yeah, everyone's really happy.
I hate it when that happens.
Can you sign this can of beans? He said.
Mr. Cockwomble.
Andy, you've got home, and in the bag there's not a massive cache of weapons. It's not the Division, I'm afraid. It's basically random case files, stuff like that, and there is shotgun rounds, and there is body armor. So that's pretty much what it is in the bag.
Hey, that's a good score. That's
a good score.
Worth taking.
It might be a good score unless the police guy finds you later. Anyway.
Yeah, but if there's been a CME, all the CCTV and everything will be wiped out, won't it? Who's going to know?
Who's going to know? So this is the first 48 hours that this has all happened. Brian's nearly turned away a starving family, and Andy's already robbed the police. Great guys, these great guys. So the question is, Andy was talking about intelligence. So the question for this 48 hours before we move on is, how are you going to find out how the extent of this and what's going on? You know how it's happened. Are you going to share that with people? And how are you going to find out more details? Brian, you said you mentioned you were trying to tune into radio, and there's nothing at the moment. There's just static. So what's the plan?
That's what you tell people.
Yeah.
You've got to tell them something. Otherwise, people will freak out and make up their own agenda. They'll have their own ideas. So you've got to fill that void with something. Saying what it isn't is still an answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no mushroom clouds. We've not been nuked. Okay, we know there's been a general failure of the power grid, and we were pre-warned before that there was possibly a CME. Going by the fires, we've got positive confirmation, so we know what's happened. Now, I know that the chances of us coming back for that are not good. They're really not good. But I'm not going to tell people that. You're going to need to blow them up and try and stop their morale crashing in the short term, and manage expectations that it's going to be a long time, and then subtly word into the conversation. Make sure you've got water, you've got a means to collect water, put stuff out in the back garden, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just sow the seed.
Okay. So there's no extra things you can do to try and gather some intelligence, find out what the government's planning, anything like that?
Well, passively, my daughter will be listening to the radio. We'll take it in turns listening to that, but ultimately that will be her job. That's all I want her to do, is safeguard the house on the rare occasion that she's left in there on her own, which will not be often. And that was only because people's houses were on fire, and to gather intel, any radio transmissions and lines of comms with us. Active, I'm not moving far from the street, never mind the village, because the risk versus reward just isn't in it for me.
There's so much bullshit as well. It's very hard.
Well, we can protect ourselves from things like that. with our hats. There we go. Roland, where's your hat, Roland?
I don't have one.
Oh, shocking! Well, they're definitely going to take your brainwaves. You're
You'll
out
be
of luck
cool
here.
by 10 o'clock.
We've got a question in the chat specifically for you right here, Ration Nerd, from Polonium, long-time subscriber. Do you think the Second Amendment makes shit at the fan more or less hazardous for the average American compared to the UK?
It's a great question. I think it. I don't think it makes it. I don't think it makes it any different. So, if the vast majority of the population here is armed, you know what you're up against, and if the vast majority of the population in the UK is unarmed, you know what you're up against. So, there's always going to be somebody with something bigger, cooler, and better than you, and that goes both ways. Whether it's firearms or whether it's swords and knives and all that stuff, crossbows or whatever.
Sticks and stones, what we'll be left with after this.
Whatever, yeah, right. I think it really is a matter of equal arms, right? So if you are if you're in the U.S. and you own 0 firearms, then you're at a severe disadvantage. And if you're in the UK and you don't own some good hand weapons, whatever your choice is, if you don't own a bow or a crossbow or a machete or something crazy like that to try to have the same or better weapons, then you're at a disadvantage. I think the point of, I think the biggest thing is no matter what medium you're fighting with, whether it's your fists or weapons or firearms, the best thing to do is to try to avoid those confrontations at all possible.
Definitely, 100%.
So that's, it's really the same. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Just try not to get into a shooting match or a stabbing match or a clubbing match. If you can avoid those, that's right on point.
We'll settle everything with a dance off.
Hey, I'll lose all day. So I'm going to dance off will be the way I'm going.
Brian, for me, I mean, we've got different circumstances and stuff like that, but for me, I think the Second Amendment is a great thing over there, but I think it would be a detriment over here because we've talked previously before we went live about the incident where that farmer shot 2 intruders and he got prosecuted and stuff like that. I think if you had the Second Amendment or something like that over here, it would have to be followed with actual freedom of speech and all the other laws that come aside it. We couldn't just turn it on, right?
You couldn't. It would require a cultural change that I don't think the UK is ready or even interested in. It's very anti-gun. Even if you go, it's just totally different. Here we need to apply for a license, and depending what license you go for, the police will tell you what caliber you can have, how many bullets you're allowed to store, right, of each caliber. And if you ever put on your license app, and they'll come to your house and interview you, incidentally, as well. They'll come to your house, they'll interview you. They put a flag on your medical records with your general practitioner that this is a good thing. If you get diagnosed with a psychiatric condition, stress reaction, then the police will come and collect your firearms from your home, which I have got no issue with personally. But it's totally different. And if you put on your reason for that, you need a reason. If you put on your reason when you applied for, say, Section 2, which is shotgun, that you wanted it for home defence, you will never, ever, ever get that. That is not a valid reason to have it in the UK. You would never get your licence granted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's totally different culture.
It's got to be clay pigeons or sporting and stuff like that.
Although people think there's no firearms in the UK, you can still go and get a Barrett if you want a light 50. And own them legally in the UK. But you can't get a 9mm handgun.
Yeah, you can. It's got to have a giant stock on the back and a huge silencer on the front. But
two ways you could. You could get it's got to be over 24 inches in muzzle length, so they put a really big long fuck off barrel on it with a fake suppressor and a foregrip. It looks ridiculous. Or if you get a license granted for what they would classify humane dispatch for the killing of deer and horses and shit at the side of the road. But they'll only put, say it's a revolver, they'll put resin in it and you can only have 2 chambers in the gun. So it's really different. It's really different.
Yeah, you ready to move to the UK, Ration Nerd?
No, no, not at all.
You're not fancy the Starmer communism over here, you know?
Nope, nope. I mean, hey, look, I have my problems with the United States. That's not, I'm not over here like, I mean, look, I love the U.S. We've gotten a lot of things right, and with the new administration coming in, there's a lot of problems being solved, but we're far from perfect. And everywhere, every country on the planet has its own problems, its own set of challenges. The United States is no different.
Yeah,
we got a lot of things right over here, and it really started to shift left there for a while. It was really bothering me, really making me worry. But I don't think that just because Trump is in office, all of our problems are fixed, and I can now just like sell off all my preps and, just live like an idiot for the rest of my life. It's certainly still, tenuous.
So literally, my plan is if we had got to the point where we had to bug out, we would have a team anyway, probably about 8 or 9 of us. We would take the tunnels 5 minutes from us, and we would take the tunnels down to the coast. Anything that we find in those tunnels that gets in the way would have to be eliminated. But but it's like we would that is the idea. We would take the tunnels to the coast, where we've got quite a lot of bug out areas.
Yeah.
So it's the same. It's like we would bug in and we would have our routines. We would have guards. You're in trouble.
Yeah.
So it is the combination of skills to have in these areas.
Is that Hollywood's fault? Is that Hollywood's fault for depicting, like, I'm not saying necessarily Rambo as such, but you know what I mean? Depicting that survivalist, that lone survivor, anyone can do it. If you watch any zombie film, everyone's the hero of their own story, right? Everybody watching that film thinks that's going to be them. Nobody watches the zombie movie and thinks, oh yeah, I'm one of those 6 million zombies that got caught in London straight away and I'm already gone. Everyone's the hero of their own story.
The problem is, decades ago, everybody was in that story and was capable of being in the story because, like say, a long time ago when I was a little boy, you'd be running through the trees. A stick was a gun, right? You would go fishing. You would be out on your bike. You would be chasing one another. You would be hunting one another, right? You'd be camping in the garden with a sheet. Now, anybody that hasn't camped out in the trees or out in the wilderness before, they won't appreciate how noisy it actually is. And that little creak in the branch, to you the first time you're out there, that's not the wind blowing it. That's a guy with a chainsaw coming to cut your legs off and do whatever he wants with the stumps. Because the mind plays tricks.
Yeah.
And until you get familiarised with it and used to that, it's the guy with the chainsaw. It's not the wind.
Yeah.
So
I prefer to camp in the rain. It's just that's a nice sound. It's a nice sound.
I did a video on, and it was actually quite weird. I've been out camping, like I would say, dozens and dozens of time on my own. I've been in all weathers, and I actually posted a video of a wild camping fail that I did, and I had a tent and everything. So I'm experienced. I've got equipment, and I got beaten by the elements. It was literally just the DD tarp was soaked through. This is the treated DD tarp, which is like not cheap, and a Vango tent, and the water has gone through the whole lot of it. It's run into the campsite, and I've had to go, look, we're going. Like to my mate, we need to get out of here because this is not safe now. There's trees blowing everywhere. As we went to go, we got lost. So we got lost in the woods at 2 o'clock in the morning in the pissing rain and cold. All our equipment was packed up. And I said to him, I said, look, all we got to do, I said, we'll keep going this way. And he's going, no, he's panicking and going this way. I said, right, sit down, stop, relax. I said, just breathe. We're going this way. And he's like, and they found our way out. Luckily, I don't know, it must have been fluke or luck. But, what I'm saying there is on Brian's note, is like literally, I'm experienced and it still happens.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the best time to learn, right? You learn from them experiences.
See the chap that mentioned the 8-foot ground rod? He doesn't mean to secure your horse, your house, sorry. He means it as a path, your horse.
Have I took a horse now? Have I robbed a horse now?
with the Hawkins mask, naked, murdered the neighbours, high as a kite with flamethrower. The horse is in fire.
At first, I thought this could be a T-shirt design, but it's getting too complicated even for me. Amphia says, just watched the most woke man in the world, Dos Equus parody YouTube video. I don't think I've seen it. But the question is, how do we convert those folks to preppers? Anyone would
I
like
don't think
to...
you can.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've just got to shoot a hostage, right?
Right. Can I put this to you, though? When the left is in power in any country, the right are preppers. When the right are in power, the left are preppers. Do you not find that that's the case?
No, because Sorry, mate, on you go.
No, go on, Brian.
I was going to say the screeching blue-haired vegans are generally arseholes all the time, no matter who's in power. And as they're sitting waving their hairy armpits at you.
Hang on, I'm just clearing all these email notifications from YouTube.
as they're waving their wee pointy finger and hairy armpits at you, telling you you're killing the world, and then go home and stick on a 3-bar heater. It's just the hypocrisy's mind-blowing. Some people, we always try and convert people to prepping. That's why we're here every Sunday. And there's just some people that you'll never, ever do it. Never. Because the world's full of arseholes.
Yeah, I mean, some of us struggle to convert our own family to do it, or even persuade them to do it in a small way. So,
yeah,
persuading people that think the government is the be-all and end-all, it's going to be very difficult. Andy, how do we convert those folks into preppers?
I don't think we do, mate. And I mean, I don't try and convert anybody anyway. I feel like doing this for you guys and do my own channel. If you're looking for that type of content, then you're already on the way to becoming a prepper. So all you're looking for then is information. Outside of this, I know it sounds like a mad thing to say, but I don't really tell anyone I'm a prepper. Obviously, outside of YouTube, like the average person where I live wouldn't have a clue who I am. So I don't really convert anyone. I wouldn't try and convert anyone, mate, really. The only people I engage with, mate, are people who come on here on my channel or at the meets. So I wouldn't even, to be fair, that guy, I probably wouldn't even talk to, let alone try and convert them.
Yeah.
I just visions the Andy knocking on your door like this with a tin of beans. I'm here to talk about God and prepping.
And shovel your driveway.
I'm going to convert you.
Welcome to the Jehovah's Preppers.
That's the one.
Barry, listen, we've nothing against anyone's religion. We take everything lighthearted here. Don't be offended. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. Barry, how do we try and convert the woke Gen Z generation into preppers, or do we just wait for Darwin to sort them out after the fact?
Mate, I think everybody has already spoken and hit the nail on the head with every statement they've said. You're never going to convert the hardcore preachers of such. And, you know, they'll be the first ones that probably do come knocking on your door, you know, crying their eyes out when it all does go belly up.
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't try and convert anybody. It's like Andy's already said, you've got a good core of preppers who have multiple channels. They get lots of views. There's a lot of people out there who are already spreading the word for you. You haven't got to try and force it on anybody. I wouldn't want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you kind of want to when it's family and you care for them and you want them to do something about something you see as an impending situation. But I get it with complete strangers. It's just like raw salt. But I mean, Hawkins, you've got like blue hair and piercings all over, so you blend in quite well with that crowd. So
absolutely. Well, I think you're all wrong.
I nearly spat in the drink.
So I think you're all wrong, and it's very easy to convert everyone to prepping. You just wait until it's winter and there's a storm, and you go outside and you cut the internet cables to someone's house and you turn off the power by pulling the main fuse on the meter board outside, and then 24 hours later there'll be a prepper.
Only till
Or
the
dead.
purge is back on.
or dead. Prep or die. That's the new motto.
Sink or swim.
There's a
Wow.
t-shirt. Yeah.
There's definitely some guerrilla tactics there from Hawkins.
Because I can't be everywhere, and I don't know everything, and we're going to have to try and coalesce, or we're all going to die.
I'll tell you what I would do, Mike.
Yeah.
There's a Boots pharmacy near me.
Mm-hmm.
That will be getting hit.
That's already
For
been
God's
hit.
sake.
That's already getting hit by every cracker.
Because as soon as I found that thing in the police car, the next shot would be the Boots.
He's turned over the pensioners. Now he's shooting up. Honestly, yeah, I've seen your colours now. This is shocking.
He's
thinking, guys.
And day 8, all the power comes back on, and they're all looking for Andy the police. No, I'm just.
In fact, I know what I'd do before this happens. If say we found out the 2 p.m. Because I know what Hawkins looks like now, I would print out a mask of Hawkins and I'd just smooch about with a Hawkins mask on. So when I'm doing all my looting and pinching, people would think, and then on the back of my t-shirt, I'd be like, I live in where Hawkins lives. So I was mooching about.
I planned for it years in advance. I just got really, really fat so that I can't be blown over by the wind. So I'm sorted.
This is not a prep we advise. Again, disclaimer across the bottom.
I wibble, but I don't fall down.
That's a t-shirt. I'm gonna get a t-shirt. I'm gonna make a t-shirt within the merch.
It's a big
store.
t-shirt.
Scottish Prepper 73 is going to be across the bottom, and it's just going to say, I wibble, but I don't fall down. That's it. It only comes in XL, XL, XL.
Just put the X's right around the back, mate. That's easier.
To answer, Andy, I am really, really sorry. I'm really sorry. Somebody has already
sent a picture.
I hope it's good.
That does not look like Andy.
It does. That is spitting image. That is spitting image.
Tell the truth, you sent that in yourself. Come on, you sent that in, didn't you?
That's the picture on the top corner of his CV. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.
In the glow of embers dance, we've prepared for every chance, living simple, living true, with the dream we all pursue. Prepared for every chance, living simple, living true, with a dream we all pursue.
I'm Brian! I'm Brian! I'm Brian! I'm Brian! I'm Brian, and so's my wife! Right, take him away and release him.
No, I'm only joking. I'm not really Brian.